Why, hello there. I'm Sin. We're in the Book Nook, and today we're going to talk about my past, present, and future books. What I've finished, what I'm in the middle of, and what we're going to get into. Okay, so we are in the midst of the Cryptid Readathon right now. So recently I finished the book Nessie by Nick Redfern, and what a captivating and weird and wondrous book. So this book gets into, like, what exactly is Nessie? Is it a flesh and blood creature? Is it the ghost of these creatures from way back in the past? Is it some sort of interdimensional being? Is it a hoax? It looks at all these different aspects, and it also takes a look at all the paranormal activity and weirdness and high strangeness that has been in the Loch Ness area for centuries. It is a very fascinating book, and I picked it up kind of on a whim. Like, I was looking for some decent variety to read for the Cryptid Readathon. I wanted to get into like one book, and have a multitude of cryptids. Definitely always interested in the water-based ones. So this gets into like a lot of the lore too, like how it has changed over the years, from like how the creatures that were in the loch were kind of like thought of as kelpies, and then eventually that morphed into like the Nessies. And so were the kelpies Nessies? Because like there's stories going back to the 1700s about this, and so Nick Redfern goes over all of that, and it was quite a captivating and interesting book. If you have any interest in underwater cryptids and a little bit of the more stranger side and all of the different weirdness that was attached to that, and the high strangeness of the place and the lore and like all of that, it's a really fascinating book that I really enjoyed reading. Like, honestly, it was one that I could not put down. Like, there's been some like cryptid paranormal books I've read, and it's just like it's all case studies, and some of those get really bloody boring. This was not boring at all. Everything was really interesting. So it was a page turner. Sometimes you're just like, okay, case study, case study. And he brings a magic to the book that he wrote. So I would definitely recommend that one if you have an interest in underwater creatures such as Nessies. Okay, so right now I'm in the middle of two books. One is I Know What I Saw by Linda Godfrey, and this is a book about multiple cryptids. Linda Godfrey was one of our foremost authorities on modern day monsters. She's the author of like a dozen books, including Monsters Among Us, American Monsters, Real Wolfman, and Weird Michigan. We have the Weird Michigan book. It's pretty fantastic. And this one is quite fascinating, and it goes into all kinds of weird stuff. So the book I Know What I Saw talks about the monsters of ancient mythology, folklore, and contemporary urban legend that have long captured our imaginations. And so she recounts and gives us different case studies from different cryptid sightings, from dog women to goat men to Bigfoot to the Beast of Bray Road, and what those could possibly be. And in more than her 25 years spent chasing monsters, she found that it often remains unclear whether the sightings are simply mistaken animals, hoaxes, or coincidence. When all the speculation is said and done, one question remains for fans and researchers. Are the creatures real? Or are they entirely otherworld? And so this book kind of explores that. And I'm only a little way in right now. I've read just about basically like the dog women. So enjoying it so far. I'll probably be reading some more of that later tonight. That is another read that I'm reading for the Cryptid Readathon. I'm also in the middle of a book called The Hedge Witch right now by Carrie Thomas. And this is book 1.5 in the Threadneedle series. This follows the story of one of the characters from the Threadneedle book named Rowan. Her family does like plant-based magic, and her mom for the summer sends her to go live with her like weird aunt Winnie in this small little town in Wales, and to learn how to do like hedge magic, because her aunt is a hedge witch and she's mildly eccentric. And Rowan's like, okay, this is like supposed to be a big summer for me, and I really wanted to do cool stuff and not be all isolated in this weird town. I was hoping to maybe make some friends, maybe kiss a boy, who knows. And so she goes to this town and she meets her strange aunt, who is quite the interesting character. It is definitely very eccentric, and she starts to learn about like hedge witch magic. So far it's super cute, it's really descriptive, and she meets some friends. So she does end up making some friends, and there are a couple of boys there. I don't know what will happen with that, but so far it's super cute. I'm enjoying it. I love magical witchy books, so it's right in my wheelhouse. And yeah, I really loved the prior book, the first book in the series, Threadneedle. Okay, so and then another book I'm going to get into in the future is a book I found at the library the other day from the little sale shelf that was $1. It's a book I've never read, and that is From the Dust Returned by Ray Bradbury. I like the cute little spider on the cover. Do I know anything about it? No, I just saw a Ray Bradbury book for $1 and I was like, well, we must have it. So there's a short little synopsis on the back and I'm going to tell you what it says. Something wondrous comes this way. With his signature twilight prose, Ray Bradbury returns to October country, that dreamscape he long ago conjured out of autumn nights, full moons, and dry leaves rustling in the wind. That's not really a synopsis, is it? Anything else? Maybe this is kind of like a little more informative. They have lived for centuries in a house of legend and mystery in Upper Illinois, and they are not like other Midwesterners. Rarely encountered in daylight hours, some of them have survived since before the Sphinx first sank its paws deep into Egyptian sands, and some sleep in beds with lids. Now the house is being readied for the gala homecoming that will gather together the far-flung branches of this odd and remarkable clan. But in the midst of eager anticipation, a sense of doom pervades. For the world is changing, and death, no stranger, will always shadow this most singular family. Okay, well now that sounds like a vampire book, so I am definitely intrigued. And we'll be reading this in the future, so I will look forward to telling you about this. I'm an avid proponent of the library. I get most of my books from the library, and then I also always, every time I go, I look at the little sale area to see what I can find, because you never know what you're going to come across, like this book that I've never heard of by Ray Bradbury. So honestly, too, that's how I've grown like most of my book collection behind me. A lot of those Stephen King books, not The Dark Tower, but all the other ones, a lot of them hardcovers, I've gotten from library sales and from that shelf. I always keep an eye out for Stephen King books. If I see them, I pick them up, because you can't beat that for like $1. Love your library, people. And if you have one near you, honestly, go join it. It's free. You can get movies, video games, books. And then you don't have to worry about, oh, if I buy this book and I don't like it, I spent all that money. It's like the library is your friend. So definitely take advantage of that if you can and are able to. I know not everyone has libraries near them. So that is a thing. And it makes me sad. I think out of all these, I am most excited to get back into the Hedge Witch just because I really loved the Thread Needle book. So I'm super excited for that. I'm also excited for the Linda Godfrey book, but that's more of like each chapter is like a different kind of cryptid and stuff. So that's like a different kind of reading, you know, that's more informational weirdness and Hedge Witch's story. So looking forward to both of those. Should be fun. What have you guys been reading? Are you taking part in the Cryptid Readathon? If you are, let me know like what weird books you're reading for that. And if you enjoyed hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.